next, we have McHawkthron, and he is going to be doing a debate.
A debate. For this segment, we have a debate. Is the pursuit of happiness a meaningful life goal, or is there a more profound purpose?
You're going to have to say that one again.
Did I use two big words?
I don't
big boy words.
I don't like doing the debate right after the Would You Rather because I feel like my shit was just not consequential at all.
Hawkthorn comes with the bangers, man.
I know. I'm just like, would you rather move things with your mind or read minds?
That's great, though. I like those
Here,
ones.
I'll put it in the chat. There we go.
What? Oh, we have a chat.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick mine.
All right.
Because
okay, Jerry.
I will give anything
Condensed.
to have the blissful feeling of just being happy. Just happy.
I mean,
instead of trying to live life for this bigger goal to change the world type thing. Like I'm finna be an important figure and do some politics or something.
During
politics is not meaningful.
During the Thanksgiving episode, we kind of learned that that's kind of where your stance would be at, honestly.
Yeah,
you kind of covered that, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to be happy.
Don't do it. No, don't do that. Don't start fake crying because then you'll start actually really crying.
You right, because I felt it just then. I feel something is buried in here,
Jerry, we're too broken, bro. If we start fake crying, it starts coming out. We're like, oh, we're doing this now
for real,
bro. Who has the glue to put me back together, bro? Like,
I got you.
Elmer himself could not put you together.
Where's that promotion I need? Where's that house I want? I just want to breathe, man.
Pursuit of happiness.
This the quickest debate on my part. I want pursuit of happiness over freaking trying to have a bigger purpose in life. Screw that. That's somebody else's job, not mine.
So I'm on the complete opposite side of that.
Ooh,
of course you are.
I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Every time. So there is.
I want to save lives. I want to. In starvation. I want to change the world.
I want to help the community. Dirty, dirty.
I'm going to make the necessary sacrifices.
I want to put my life on the line.
It's so true. It's so true.
I want to positively impact everyone I ever come across ever.
Yeah. So basically, having happiness be like, okay, so there's obviously something more than just searching for your own happiness. In my opinion, if your pursuit of happiness is your life goal, yes, you need to have self-love and you need to take care of yourself. But like overall, I feel like that would be too selfish for me to do. You know? Cause listen, Jerry.
Okay, go.
Yeah. If I were to just pursue a life of happiness, that means I am pursuing things that are just going to make me happy. That's it.
That's life. That's the goal.
But the thing is, Jerry, I would put, that on the sideline and do something a little bit more purposeful.
I get that.
My happiness is not like my end all be all.
I agree.
So even if your purpose causes you to be unhappy, which it will, because nobody who pursued a bigger goal didn't fall into depression at times, didn't get inside their own head like, am I doing the right thing? You're too worried about everybody else.
Well,
but on my side, I'm happy, which is going to make the people around me happy, which is going to be the most stress-free
There are upsides to being just a happy person. Yeah. Because when you're a happy person, you can exude that happiness to everyone around you. And yeah, I could definitely see that. But for me, I guess when it comes down to it, like my life goal, I want to be taking care of others rather than myself. I could, because if I were to pursue my happiness, if I were to lay my life down for something, like I would want me to live if I wanted my life purpose to be happy. But if I were to put that aside and there's a more profound purpose to allow, to be that person for other people, that's what I feel like that's more important.
I don't know if I can choose one here.
Yeah.
Because my pursuit of happiness is bringing happiness to other people.
I guess that is true. It is
kind of like you've got people like Robin Williams, though, who brought happiness to everybody, and
he also
was miserable.
Yeah.
So it's like there is a balance. It doesn't have to be either or. This isn't this or this. This is.
Oh, that's right. This is not my segment where it's black and white.
Right.
I'm only able to make the decision because I've been that person of like, let me, go out your way and forget everything you're doing for yourself to pursue this goal. And of course, the reward you got seeing what you've done, cool. But that was probably the most miserable time of my damn life. I was like, okay, now what about me? Okay, James not happy. Everybody else is.
It doesn't have to be either or, Karn. Like honestly, I think, in my opinion, happiness.
I got surprised when you said my name. I was like, oh, I'm here too. I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, I think the pursuit of I feel like the pursuit of happiness as being your only goal, the goalpost is going to constantly change. Like it's always going to get longer or shorter. Probably longer because
I'm never going to get through the goalpost. That's the one thing is that
that's the thing is like you can reach as close to happiness as possible, but you're never like, well, I'll be more happy if I end up doing this, or I'll be more happy if I end up doing this. I'll be more happy if I'm doing this, and it ends up framing your mindset into I'd be happier with my future self as opposed to finding happiness now, and it is a mindset, right? It's like. Happiness is up to whoever, like, obviously there are shitty things that happen to people, and then there are good things that happen. Happiness is how you react in any of those cases. And so it's like, it's something that you can always pursue, even if you're looking for a more profound purpose. But I think that if your goal 100% is to find happiness, it's a little bit obtuse. There's no focus there. It's like, what exactly is happiness and what do you think is going to make you happy? At the end of the day, if you end up like doing something that you think is going to make you happy, you might end up disappointed because either you've hit that goal and you don't have anything else after that, or you're just not going to get it because it wasn't how you had expected it to turn out, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the pursuit of happiness is fine. But I think that if it's just the pursuit of happiness, undefined, there has to be something more to just pursuing happiness. I think the question is wrong. I think it's you need to be able to find profound purpose, and the pursuit of happiness comes within that. But I don't know.
So the question, I don't think the question's worded wrong because like the pursuit of happiness is basically it's the self-actualization of the Freudian pyramid, right? That does everyone know what I'm talking about?
Expound, please expound.
So Sigmund Freud has a I think it was Sigmund Freud. I believe it was him. Had a pyramid.
It's the hierarchy of needs. It's actually Maslow.
Yes, that's
Maslow's
right.
hierarchy of needs.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Thank you. I thought it was Sigmund Freud. He was the
Jamie
guy who
put that up on the screen.
He liked his mom.
There it is.
So I think that like when you look at the biggest thing is that hierarchy of needs where like, you have your basic survivals and then you have your happiness of, your mind, of your mental, whatever. Then you keep going up from there to get to that self-actualization of like you're happy with your life on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. And I think that the pursuit of happiness is what that is that self-actualization. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're able to take that concept of reaching the top of that pyramid and then going further than that and going, okay, I've reached my peak. I've gotten to as happy as I can be, which is already a feat in and of itself. If you're actually happy with every aspect of your life at all points of your life, like, good for you, honestly. Because there's a lot of people that don't get to that point where they get to like the third and fourth level and they go, I can't take it anymore. Like I can't go any further.
I mean, if you don't have like an idea of what will make you happy, like a very clear picture, I don't know. I think I would rather pursue contentment than happiness.
Right. Because I don't think like true happiness is really ever achieved in this life. Today,
yeah.
True happiness can be achieved, but it's not a lifelong thing.
And I think that it's a spark. I think happiness is a spark. Contentment is where you're able to live your day to day with peace. I'd rather live with peace and contentment than pursue happiness for the rest of my life, thinking that whatever goal that I have is going to fulfill me, because I know for a fact that it will not.
Holy shit. So does that mean, okay, because if you break down a word, pursuit of happiness, that's not saying you're gonna get it.
Right. Exactly. That's true.
That's fair. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're going to continue pursuing it, again, the goalpost is always changing. So you might not even achieve happiness.
Jerry's profound purpose is OnlyFans.
Yeah, I got to change my shit again. Fuck.
Because like, if you're looking for a more profound purpose, you might end up finding contentment, happiness in doing that. But if you're just focused on trying to be happy.
Yeah, okay, I see it. Because if you do the purpose situation,
because then you're not doing anything with your life. You're just doing what's best for you, and then you end up like some vagabond.
Jerry.
Yeah, whether if you do something with a purpose, eventually you like, let's say you change somebody's life because your purpose was to change life for this. Mm-hmm. You wake up every day knowing I did this, and you're gonna automatically feel good. Pursuit of happiness, you might get it, you might not. I don't. But when you get it, it's amazing.
I don't want to use Jerry as like a a fence post for this concept. But I think that the one thing that he's a good example of how your needs and your focuses are much more narrower when you aren't reaching that peak of self-actualization. Because I mean, he's told us
that's
before
why it's
that,
a peak. Like it gets more narrow, right?
Yes, that's triangles.
Wow, triangle.
Oh boy. I think that's like, to use you as an example, Jerry, like you having that constant struggle on a day-to-day basis of like reaching that peak and not being able to hit that, at least for an extended period of time. You might feel great for like, a certain set time, but then eventually you fall back down, right? Which everyone does. Like, if that's one thing you take away from this podcast, is everyone is in their own pursuit of happiness and they're always trying to reach that peak of self-actualization. They don't stay there long. Eventually you get a phone call about a tragic event happening, or you have a bill that comes up, or you have something that happens to you that takes you off that peak of true happiness. Jim Carrey said it best. You only ever reach true happiness when you're right smack dab in the middle of an orgasm.
True.
Is that what he said?
Swear to God. It wasn't verbatim, but it's kind of what he said.
I can't believe that.
Look at his stand up from like the 80s or 90s.
And there can also be a very unhealthy way to pursue happiness in your own mind. Like, something bad happens, you can drown yourself in alcohol, drugs, video games, food, things that aren't,
keep going,
stuff that isn't necessarily unhealthy.
Stop talking about me.
Without moderation, you end up getting hurt, and you focus on these things as these crutches. And then you're just getting this warped idea of what happiness looks like. Like, I think we're all just trying to survive in this life and live with as little misery as possible. But if you focus on something as like
something bigger than yourself,
if you focus on something a little bit bigger than yourself and live with like a servant mind, then happiness will follow. But you can't live with the expectation that happiness will always be there. Unfortunately,
can I tell you that
in the world we live in,
that the one thing that happens with me, and I've noticed this as like outside of this conversation, I've noticed this in a lot of different aspects of my life, is that I've become very like pursuit of happiness type, like, you know, like chasing that. And I think that one thing that messes with me and messes with my heights is that I know it's not a forever thing. And I know that, you know, it's very easy to fall into sex, drugs, alcohol, you know, whatever you use as your crutch, which another thing is if you are listening, just know that crutches are crutches when you use them as crutches. Having a drink because you had a tough day and you just want to have like that momentary relief of worries doesn't make you addicted or, you know, alcoholic, whatever. People can have vices and they can have, you know, like relief mechanisms. They're not the same thing.
Right. If you're self-medicating, if you're using it as a way to fix a problem, then you're not going to fix the problem. You're just creating a new one. But if you use it on everything in moderation, right? It's like
in moderation. Yeah.
Right. It's like you can have the same problem with food where you eat to excess to the point where you basically have molasses coursing through your arteries, right? Like,
yeah,
like anything could be a crutch. Anything could be unhealthy for you. People who exercise, there are people who like, they can rip their body apart if they're not exercising properly, but they do it just to get away from their problems. Like anything can be destructive. You just have to have the wisdom and wherewithal to know what it is that, like what it's doing to your body, what it's doing to your psychology, and how to, you know, do it responsibly where you're able to just get a rest, just take a break. Cause I enjoy whiskey, you know, at the end of the day, if it's been a rough day, just whiskey and Coke, loosen up a little bit, but I don't rely on it as my only source of happiness. And I think if you're looking for happiness and only happiness, you're going to find there's going to be a lot that it doesn't make you happy. And you're going to find things that make you happy more often. That
all right, guys, stop picking on me. I'm right here, God.
I'm not picking on you. No, this is all of us, dude. I think this is all of us, man. You know, it's like
I've learned that, and this, like I said, this is from my own experience. I've learned that, like, for someone like me who is very interested in like just general knowledge in and of itself, of just knowing a lot about, you know, a lot of things, or knowing like at least a little bit about a lot of things. I've learned more and more that term ignorance is bliss is not just like a throwaway comment. It's actually something that the more you learn about where we live and what we live in and who does this and whatever, and the more you learn about your surroundings and life in general, the more your life starts to get a lot more depressing. Because the more
ignorance is bliss.
Like, bro, when I found out Babe Ruth wasn't black, oh my God.
Keep the callbacks coming.
Oh my God. That destroyed me.
Funny.
Oh, for those of you that don't know, that was from an unreleased episode. That
destroyed me.
Yeah.
But no, like, honestly, like the more that you don't, that's why I envy the people that do like mechanic work, or like, you know, things that aren't necessarily very mentally taxing, taxing.
Yeah.
That they're more like physical labor and more like knowing about that specific thing.
Yeah.
I think I envy people that are like that they can go home and they can have like your dinner on the table, you know, read their paper, watch the news, whatever, go to bed. Like, I envy people that can do that and just do that on an everyday basis for the rest of their lives, because honestly, I can't do that. If I have any kind of routine, I'm immediately looking for ways to break the routine so I can feel any kind of new in my life.
I cause so much drama for myself all the time.
if I can get into that, if I can get so mentally strong to where I can wake up at the same time every day, follow these steps, like every day. Not saying every day is the same and just get bored. It's just that I have a system built in and I don't stray away from it. If I can be consistent with myself.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because
I'll do it for about 3 days and then after that, fuck it.
Dude, if I was what's his name? If I was Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, by the third day I'd have been like, fuck this. I'm doing something different. I'm not doing the same shit for fucking however many days he did it in the movie.
Right.
I can't do that.
So I'll take purpose because at least with that, I know I done did something to change and people can remind me of it and bring me a little sparkle like, yeah, I did that. I feel good about myself.
Well, and you'll probably find
and sometimes not getting there and then feeling like shit on the days I don't get there.
There's no guarantee of happiness, but I think the pursuit of happiness involves a more profound purpose.
Yeah.
So
I think we all agree on that.
I think I think that the answer isn't as black and white as the or is. I think it's more so if you start to get into the pursuit of happiness that you find your happiness in the pursuit and not for the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I want to add something to that. You know what I want to pursue? The next topic, which is JustJerryJ.
You are killing
Dude, you're thriving in this role.
You are killing these segues, man.
That's fucking great.
That's why you are the grand.
Yeah, sorry for like that. Like it kind of got really serious in there, but honestly, I think it's cool to have like that conversation of like, you know, that we all struggle with these things, but we can also have good time and laugh about it. So that's why we moved to JustJerryJ.
JustJerryJ.
Let's get unserious.
Yes, it is the unserious time right now, and we're going to be doing a tier list.
What's up, everybody? You know what? Yes, I do. You know what it is. It is time to do a tier list, which, of course, it seems simple, but it can get controversial. It just depends on how
I'll get my trauma.
Tier list, what? It was the hardest thing I've ever been put through.
Get ready for it, because today we're doing a fruit tier list.
I can't see it yet.
Oh, there it is.
Fruit